Hello everyone, it's Xander here from Xander's Bricks, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new LEGO Modular to commemorate 15 years of Modular. Now this is set number 10297, the Boutique Hotel, which comes with 3,066 pieces and 7 minifigures. Now obviously you can't see too much from here, so we're just going to take a quick peek at the specifications of it. This build is 3 different floors, including 3 different rooms to this lovely hotel, including 1 suite with a bathroom. It also has on this side the art exhibit here, which is El Kuvo, which literally just translates to the cube, which represents one of the art pieces inside of the exhibit. It also has this awesome bar area, which we'll take a quick look at in a little bit here. And it's got some very awesome ornate details, which resemble some of the most classic architectural styles that I think this build is trying to represent. So without further ado, let's take a quick look deeper into this build. Now, building this set was actually fairly simple and felt fairly quick. The 3,000 pieces really didn't feel like that much, and it went together fairly fast. So I would say this was a little bit more of the easier of the modular buildings. I think they're getting really good at separating the pieces into a lot more bags, which makes handling each step a lot easier. Each minifigure holds its own little story or something that people can create as they're playing or building this set. Obviously, most people that will get this set are older or maybe getting as a gift. So it is a little bit more of a you do it yourself rather than the city sets where they name the characters. So our first character here is a coffee cart worker. He's fairly standard. I really like the face print and the torso and things like that. We don't get the coffee one all that much, however it does seem to be getting a bit more common. His coffee cart is also nice and simple, but I really like it. It's actually the final few steps in this build, which is a nice way to end it on a very simple note. Then we have some sort of tourist up here. We love that use of that newer hair piece here. It's just so nice and detailed. The rest of the figure is fairly standard. Nothing too crazy going on with that fig. Down here we have some sort of businessman, possibly another tourist. Again, another simple figure. The best aspect, I think, is the bowler hat. Then in the middle here, we have our 2 hotel workers, which I must say those torsos are so nice. Now, the female character doesn't have a whole lot going for her after that, but the male figure does have an awesome face print, which I do appreciate. We also have some sort of older traveler here, an older woman, which is a nice character actually, with the awesome gray hair, the awesome pink torso, and even a lime green suitcase, which I don't think has been in any of the lines except for Friends before this, so that's interesting. And then I believe this top character up here is supposed to be the worker of El Kuvo, which is a kind of annoyed looking character to me. The torso and the pants are fairly uncommon as far as I'm aware. The face print I've never seen before, and that hair in that color is also fairly uncommon. So I think it's a nice figure. She just looks a little out of place and a little annoyed to be here. Speaking of El Kuvo, the fine art exhibit, let's take a deeper look into this section of the build. First off, there's not a whole lot going for it, but this upper area here is a nice little eating, drinking area. I think the best aspect of this section is the palm tree, which was a fairly interesting build, and I didn't realize these were gold elements until I actually got the set, but I think it works. The rest of the area is fairly simple, and there's not a whole lot going for it. The entryway is fairly ornate, which I really like, and I like that the details continue even on the black accents on the roof and even on the front here. The great thing about this build is that it's broken up like some of the other modulars. Not every section has to come up in one piece. That goes with El Kuvo here, where you can literally just take off the drinking area in one go instead of taking off any of the hotel. It really makes it feel like a separate establishment. And while we're here, let's take a look inside of El Kuvo, which is kind of difficult to look into. We've got a printed tile here of some sort of abstract painting. We've got a glass cube, which I think is where the name comes from. We've got an abstract face. We've got some sort of modern art piece there. And then we also even have a top hat or something, which we can't really see here. It also spreads outside here where you can see this little art piece, but other than that, there's not a whole lot going for it, but you can just kind of see into there a little bit more. While we're here, we may as well also take a look at the really interesting stairs they made. This is such a cool technique to turn things on its side in order to make it work. It just looks like it's been worn and torn, and it just looks like this place is really heavily trafficked. There's also a really nice printed piece here of just a bunch of signage. Now we can get into the actual hotel. We're gonna go from the top down. So starting on the top here, we've got a skylight and a lot of ornate details, which get accented by a bunch of other black elements. Obviously, the most important part, I think, of the top section is this column here on the top, which is so cool. And I think it really helps bring this center area to attention even more than it already was at. This top floor is the suite, which includes a bathroom, like I mentioned earlier. Although it's fairly tight, it's the only bathroom in the entire building, and we don't get a whole lot of them, so I do appreciate this. The bed is massive in this area, and I really like the details they added. The chair is okay. I think it could have been better. And the cabinets here seem to be really finicky, and they tend to open even when you barely move it. There's also a lamp and a television there. Very nice. And then they really missed out, but there's not a whole lot in this front area here. It's just a little balcony. So the balcony opens up and someone could stand out there. Now the second floor, rather than just one room, includes 2 different rooms without a bathroom, unfortunately, including some very tiny room here with a chair and some very bland room decals. But it also has a balcony, which the other room does lack. But this one has a typewriter and a little bit more room to roam around, including even a spinny chair, which is kind of nice. Although it's another odd-shaped one, and includes this cabinet, which is very finicky. I also failed to mention, but the staircase goes all the way up to the top as well, obviously. Last, but definitely not least, is the lobby floor, which I really like what they did on the actual floor, which I don't say a whole lot, but you'll see what I mean. The floor is very angular, and it looks super cool, I think. I wish they moved that center decal a little bit to the left, but other than that, I would say it's fairly awesome. The couch is a nice detailed build, but other than that, this area is fairly empty. Besides that key rack there, which makes use of double-sided use and has the abstract human on the other side. It's also got another one of those vintage telephones, which we've been seeing a lot in modulars recently, and some other modern art. But other than that, this doesn't have a whole lot. There's a really big empty space in the bottom here, which I wish they made use of with like a piano or something, but they just really didn't. The railing on this one's super cool, and I think that they made a good use of that whip element. Other than that, the lobby floor is fairly empty, which I am disappointed about. So there it is, the entire modular building. And I'm about to give you guys some of my final remarks here, but you can let me know before in the comments down below what you think about it, so your opinion's not that biased. If you also would do me a quick favor and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and consider subscribing if you're new around here. I've got some stop motion animations coming soon, some Lego City videos, and even some more reviews coming very soon. So I hope you guys enjoy. And now I'll give you guys my final remarks. So in the end, I think this building is awesome. I don't know that it'll go down as my favorite modular, but definitely one of my favorites. I can't wait to get this into my city, and speaking of which, that video should be coming out fairly soon, or so I hope. But if you can't wait for that, don't worry, pictures of it in my city will be up on my Instagram at XandersBricks very, very soon. So make sure you go check it out there too. But there are a few things that I don't love about this set, but I think the overwhelming amount that I do like really helps this set. At a price point of $200 doesn't feel unfair to me, and overall I think the minifigure selection is great too. I would recommend this to anyone who's really just trying to expand their city. I think maybe even having 2 would look awesome, so who knows, maybe that'll happen someday, but I doubt it. For now, that's all I've got. Make sure to consider liking if you enjoyed, consider subscribing if you're new around here, and for now, this is Xander saying over and out, guys.